Okay. In today's class, we'll be seeing about form work. You know what is form work? This entire class will be dealing about form work, shuttering, centering works. These are all going to be on-site jobs, the process which we are initially doing for creating a structure. First is shuttering work. My screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. For the shuttering work, it is nothing but the part of the form work which supports the vertical surface. When you are raising the vertical surface or the inclined surface, you are initially going to do some shuttering works with the help of wood or steel or aluminium. Okay. For example, column sites, beam sites, slab sites, wall sites. This type of constructions you use shuttering work. Temporary wooden form which is removed once the arch is closed. First you create a temporary wooden arch type. You just wanted to create this arch shape. So you're preparing some form work type, that is the initial preparation. Over that you are going to go for either brickwork or laying of your cement blocks or something. Once the structure is done, then you'll remove this wooden surface. Concrete shuttering is a process of creating molds into which your concrete can be poured. The desired shape can be attained. Then later, after the concrete is gaining its early strength, you can remove the shuttering work. The process of concrete shuttering usually involves the process of creating temporary structures and supports. Though in some cases, these structures and supports may be permanent also. This is exactly to classify under form work. You have shuttering work and centering work. Work is nothing but the vertical rising up of your structures. This wall types, also your columns. Have you seen this type of works along, like when you have bypassed your any structures, any buildings where they are constructing huge structures, or the metro bridges, which you can see initial formwork structures. This type of steel extra supports can be seen there. Have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This type of vertical risings uses shuttering works. What is centering works? Centering work is a part of the formwork which supports the horizontal surface. Vertical is called the shuttering and horizontal is called the centering works for the slab, beams, roofs, etc. Center or centering, it is a type of false work, the temporary structure upon which the stones of the arch or walls are laid during the construction. This type have you seen in, like people in their own building, like their own house construction or any neighborhood construction? You might have seen this type of thing. Like the structure is being built, when you enter into that half-built structure, you can see these types of wooden repairs over there, and you have some additional support here. This type, have you seen?
I'm not wooden. Ma'am,
Yeah, ma'am.
metal.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Uh, this is like over this only. Once your initial column, you'll go for slab construction. That's roof. You'll be constructing it. For that, you need some base support. Over that only, you can pour your concrete. For that only, you are providing this centering type. In olden days, they used this wooden or timber source of centering sheets. But nowadays, they are using aluminium, plastic, and also steel types. This type, have you seen? This is the latest thing. They use everything using steel. This type of mostly this using of centering sheets in steel, it is quite costlier than wooden things. So for the construction of individual houses or even villa types or even G plus 2 or 3, ground plus 2 or 3 buildings, they go for wooden. But nowadays it's quite common for people moving on for the multi-storied building. So they use this type of steel shutterings. You can see there's a steel prop. Here you can see now they're going to cast this first floor roof. They're going to cast it. For that they have laid the initial formwork. Over this they'll pour the concrete. Once the concrete is set, they'll remove all those extra things. And this is older image where they have built the arch type. They've used steel type of shuttering works. Once a structure is built, they'll remove it. See what is formwork? It is an artificial support provided below and above the precast or cast in situ concrete work. Precast is nothing but everything is done on site, ready-made. You bring it onto the site, you fix it using nuts and bolts. That is going to be a precast. Cast in situ is nothing but on the site you prepare your concrete, you do the casting work. That is in cast in situ. It is a mold including all supporting structures used to shape and support the concrete until it attains sufficient strength to carry its own weight. Formwork construction and casting is of primary importance in the concrete industry because if you're going to plan your own house, initially you need some formwork to build your column works. Once your foundation is done, you'll go with the column. Once your column is done, you need to put your roof. So you need some external support to provide your roof. Once your roof is done, you'll remove it. Then you'll go for brick construction, or your wall construction. Nowadays, even wall construction are going RCC reinforced concrete. That time you have to go for wall formworks. Qualities of formwork: it should be watertight, should be strong. If it is watertight only, it should not penetrate. It should be very tight. Air gaps should not be there. Only then, if you pour the concrete, leakages or the outcoming of slurries will not be there. It can be avoided. Should be reusable. Woods, they are reusable. Compared to steel, woods are not that durable. It is cheaper, but that it's not that durable. Its contact surface should be uniform. You should not have some undulated surfaces over your wooden sheets that you are providing there. So you should make sure that the surface is uniform. Only then the impression of the structure will be uniform. It should be according to the size of the member. I have a video for you. Just a second. Is this video playing? Yes.
No, ma'am.
It's paused,
Wait.
ma'am.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
It's playing now.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Did you get the idea of what is formwork?
Yes, ma'am.
Want me to replay it? Reply. You want to replay it, or shall we move on to the next slide?
Next, ma'am.
Okay. These are the wooden formworks for where they are casting the concrete walls, and for the heavy structures we go for the wooden formworks. These are the steel formworks. When the height of the wall is completely high, people go for steel formworks, and this is for the rising of the columns. Compared to wood, steel is quite easier, so we can fix it using our nuts and bolts, and we can dismantle it easily, and we can transfer it to the next portion of the building. And this is the pictures of the aluminium formwork, but mostly in India we don't use aluminium formwork as much. And these are the plastic formworks that are also being used. Let's see the formwork for the foundations. For initially when we start a construction, what is the first process, first structure we build? This is our foundation. We dig some earth, we cast a foundation over there. For that foundation, if this case, just a minute. In this case, we go for this sloped foundation. For that, we need some, for that creating of the sloped structure, we need some formwork. For that, we use cleats. Cleats are nothing but the vertical wooden members, and this is the side planks. Side planks are nothing but the wooden sheets. Plank is nothing but a softwood or hardwood piece of square sawn timber, 200 mm thick and 200 mm or over wide. Like it is a continuous collection of wood that you are going to provide along your sides. When these two sides are done with the side planks, this side and this side, so in between you are going to put the side support. This is the side support. Now you can imagine like this type of slope is done. So in between, over this you will pour your concrete. Your reinforcements projecting outside. This is a formwork for the wall. Can you see? These are the vertical members where it is ready. Now these things can be lifted and this can be transferred to any portion of the building using a forklifts, using equipments that will be dealing in the last chapter. And this is the line sketch of the formwork of the wall. Okay, for the wall construction, you have the top plate. Okay, then this is the stud. Stud is nothing but the vertical member. And these are the end studs provided on the sides. And wales are nothing but the horizontal structures. That is nothing but the reapers, additional thing you provide to the wooden thing in order that the concrete should not open up your formwork. And this is the strong back additional support. See this one, additional support you provide in order that this formwork should not open up. You can see this is the concrete. With this gray color indicates the concrete wall. That is, you have set all those formwork, you have put the concrete in between. This is the concrete wall. Here you have some braces. This braces will be taken to the floor level. This will be these are the extra fittings that are supported along the sides. So it will be fixed. It is an inclined member. It will be fixed to the base nearby. Like this is a continuous thing. It will go and it will be getting fixed along the floor. This is the strong back. The inner thing, this is called the tie members. You will be having additional tie members to hold both the vertical, both this vertical in position. You will be having tie members. This is the tie clamp. This is sheathing. Sheathing is nothing but the plywood or the wooden board which you use. The wale is nothing but this horizontal member. You already saw that one, this cross section. And this is the stud. This is the sole plate. Sole plate is generally nothing but the base plate which you fix to your, over which you fix the formwork. Initially your foundation work, this is footing. This is the foundation is done. Over that you place your sole plate. Once the sole plate is fixed and it is firm, then over that you will fix your either your wooden or your steel formwork. That you will fix it using the nuts and bolts. Once it is all done, you will fix the additional components. Everything is done. You will oil the inner part of the formwork and then pour the concrete over it. We'll see the components. Sheathing is the plywood on each side of the wall against which the fresh concrete is being placed. The sheathing provides resistance to pressure of freshly placed concrete. We should ensure that there are minimum thickness that should be followed as per our IS. I have a very good book for formwork that is purely for formwork construction. I'll circulate it through your CRs. You'll be receiving it after the class. You can just go through it, but it'll be quite detailed for UG. If you're interested so much in formwork, you can have a glance over it. The studs are the members to which the sheathing is attached. They are normally installed vertically. We saw here, these are the stud members. Here, these are the stud members. We initially place some wooden material, wooden sheet. Over that, you place the studs. In order that there will not be a uniformity in this, you are going to attach both wooden sheets using a stud. Here this is one wooden sheet and this is one wooden sheet. You are going to attach it using the outer stud. They are normally installed vertically. Wales are larger lumber with separators are installed on opposite sides of the wall formworks perpendicular to the studs to hold the stud in position, to ensure good alignment of the formworks and to receive the form ties. You will be providing form ties on both sides. Along that, you will be having wales. Strong backs are sometimes installed perpendicular to the wales to provide additional strength and rigidity of high forms. You'll see the top plates. That was the first thing we saw. That is the top plate are installed and fastened on the tops of the studs as parts of the panel frames. Bottom plates are installed and fastened to the bottoms of the studs and as parts of the panel frames. Sole plates are placed and fastened along each side of the wall footing. Over the footing, like it will be along the bottom of the wall footing and top of the foundation footing. You'll have your sole plates. Braces are fastened to one side of the formwork. They prevent the form from shifting. Like once it is all done, your verticality is maintained, you need some additional inclined support. Only with that, the weight of the concrete or this can be balanced. You should make sure once it is all done, your vertical formwork is done. Our structure should not fail that our wooden reapers or not even wooden reapers, even a steel, it needs some additional support. If you pour the concrete, the density is quite larger. Like if you pour, it should not just buckle up. So we need some additional braces. Screw adjusting braces are commercially available nowadays, which can allow, like it will be quite faster for you to fix it than the wooden. Wooden means you have to if it is not proper, you have to cut at the bottom, you have to fix it in that position. That will be quite time consuming, whereas screw types are very easy in case of steel formworks. Form ties provide support for the wales, and these are the things. See, this is the isometric view. Here you can see these are the ties. This will be provided in between thing in order to maintain uniformity. And this is the board sheathing. This is the plywood sheathing. And these are the braces, the inclined position, which I told you, this is the inclined position. And these are the wales. This wales are like once we'll go from the inner to the outer. Inner you'll be having the wooden, wood sheathing or the board sheathing. You'll be having that. Over that you will have this studs. You will be having this studs. Over the studs, this to maintain the uniformity in the studs, you just provide this wales over the horizontal members of the wales. And over additional to that, you fix your braces. Is this clear? Is this clear? Shall we move to the next component?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the formwork for the column construction. Can you see? This is a cylindrical box type over which, like once you are fixing all this, you're going to pour concrete into it. Okay, like these things are, these are the wooden boards, and these are the horizontal members are called yoke. In column footing, it is called yoke. And you have the end planks. Planks are nothing but the wooden boards. Wooden boards are the sheets. These are the side planks. You have to make sure once you're fixing the corners, the sides should not be open. It should be packed tightly that the concrete should not come out of it. So you provide the side plates. And this yoke, you have the yoke, you are connecting it through the bolts. Two end and two side planks are joined by the yokes and bolts. An enclosed box with frames of exact size of the column is fixed tightly on the kicker left from the base or at the last stage of the column concreting. The box is held in position by the steel column clamps. You're tightening with the steel clamps. Make sure that it is not opening up. You have to make sure this distance and this distance should be even. Only then your column size will be even. Yoke is nothing but an assembly of members which restrains forms from movement by encircling them. In a vertical slip form, a yoke is a form of an inverted U which carries the wall forms and it itself carries and rises by a jack. Like you can raise or lower it. A tie or clamping device around column forms over the top of the wall or footing forms to keep them from spreading because the lateral pressures of the concrete is high. So the plank you have already seen, that is the soft or the hardwood that you are using. And rakas, they are nothing but the inclined struts. Inclined struts are nothing but the braces or the rakas. Can see this type. You have some braces over here, and this is your inner part is your sheathing, outer vertical parts that is projected, that is your strut, and this horizontal part is your wales. You can see nuts and bolts projecting outside. Is it visible? Okay. Next, I have another video for you. Here you can see the bottom is the foundation. Over that, the reinforcement cage is rising up. Now we are going to construct a column over it. Yes. Did you see this video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Next, we'll see this. You have seen the wooden type. Now we'll be still seeing this, how they are installing the column.
Video is not playing, ma'am.
Yes. Is video not playing?
The video is playing, but it is not audible.
Okay. I have kept the maximum sound. Okay. Let me play it again. You just tell me if the videos, audio is not here. You just tell me.
No, ma'am, there is no audio.
Okay, okay, no problem. I'll give you the explanation. This is the base which I call a sole plate. The corners are the sole plate. Over this, you are going to place your vertical members. Now they are fixing the vertical sheets over your reinforcement cage. They are going to fix it and check for the verticality, whether it is uniform. They are checking the verticality. If it is not proper, they are just saying it, and they are going to provide some external support using braces.
Ma'am, you are not audible properly.
I am also not audible. Am I audible?
Now it's fine.
Okay. Okay, no problem. As of now, we have seen that there is going to be a vertical, sole plate. It will be like a clam shape, that is L shaped at the sides of the footing. Over that, in between, you have your reinforcement gauge. They're going to fix this L shaped box over that sole plates. They're going to fix it because they should ensure there is firmness between the sole plate and the vertical member. Now they are just fixing it with the steel. I'll also circulate this video through your CS. Is that fine for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to the next member. Our next member is beam. You know what is the beam? If you know, tell yes. If you don't know, tell no.
It carries lateral loads. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Beams are nothing but the horizontal structural member. You know what is foundation? You are done with the foundation. Now you have fixed the formwork for your column. You have raised the column. It is done. Now after the column is done, you are going to cast your beams. Beams are nothing but the horizontal members. Along your structure, there are horizontal members. Beam is a horizontal structural member in a building to resist the lateral loads applied to the beam's axis. The structural member which resists the forces laterally or transversely applied to the beam axis is called a beam. So this horizontal member, this image is an isometric view. This is your primary beam, and this brown colors are your secondary beam. This purple color, it denotes that it is the slab over which which means if you are in the first floor, you just look up, that is your slab. Okay. If it is along you are in a G+4 building, if you are in the fourth floor, you look up at the top surface, that is called the roof. The topmost layer of the structure is called the roof, and intermediate layers of the building is called the slab. This is your slab and this is your beam. We have seen about column rising. Now we'll see about beam. Now what is lintel? Lintel is nothing but the horizontal member placed just over the openings of the windows or the doors or the verandas, etc., to support the load of the masonry work. Like you, I'll just take a pen. This is your one side of the wall. Here you have a opening. The image I'm drawing, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is the one side of the wall, and in between now you have done the brickworks up to this. Up to this you have constructed the brickworks. Now here there is an opening. This opening is meant for the placement of your window. Okay. Now you have the columns here. Your beams. This is the beam. This is the column. This is done. Now, where will this load resist on? This load of the beam will be resisting on this lintel. Here you have to provide a horizontal member called lintel. If you are not providing it, you cannot construct a window here. Once you are done with the sides, up to this you are doing the brickworks. Okay, along the sides of the window of the opening, you are doing the brickworks. You have some space left here. Now you are going to construct a horizontal member connecting this brickwork and this brickwork. Along my left side and right side, there are brickworks. This is going to be my opening. I have to connect a horizontal member. Like it should uniformly transfer this load of the structure through the to the side walls, because it should not compress the, it should not give the load to the window or the door. It will sag. Okay, the lintel is a horizontal member placed just over the openings of the windows, doors, verandas, etc. to support the load of the masonry work. Lintel beams provide supports to the openings in buildings and transfer the load safely to the masonry walls. Here it is carrying the load of this structure and it is transferring to the side walls, that is the side brickworks. Their width must be here, the entire thing, no? Here continuous thing of lintel will be done. This again, this load will be carried to the column also as well as to this brick also. Their width must be equal to the width of the wall. The width of the lintel should be equal to the brickwork which you have already done. This is the lintel. Have you seen this type anywhere in the constructing on the ongoing sites or somewhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. For this, it is going to be an open channel. It will be in this shape. For this, you are going to provide the formwork. Can you see? And that carries that side. It will be in this open shape. So you are going to provide in this manner the sides and the bottom alone. You will be providing the wooden planks, and that will be supported using your braces and a prop. The prop is nothing but this vertical member is called the prop. You are going to provide all this to pour concrete into it. Formwork for beam or lintel. Beam formwork consists of open through section, and because it is not closed at the top, it is open, it is not closed at the top, because there you are going to pour the concrete. The supports need to be maintained to soffit and also to provide lateral support to the sides. In timber, this is done by the use of head tree across the top of the vertical member. Metal panels are used with the corner pieces, but timber head trees are needed for vertical support. See this for the lintel, we'll see. This is the lintel. Here is your concrete structure. Now you have a head tree over here. Head tree is nothing but the horizontal member below the lintel. Over this, you are going to pour the concrete. You also have some side wooden sheets. That apart from that, you have the cleats. It is the wooden vertical wooden members to support it. Cleats, and you have some alternate fixing cleats. This is your tie members. In between, you should make sure that the entire run, along this entire run, there should be uniformity. So you provide some ties at a particular distance, which should hold both the sides. And this is going to be your props, and this is the sole plate. Here is the foundation. This darker line indicates that this is the foundation, and this is the sole plate. Over that, you are going to fix this, and this triangular shaped wooden pieces are called the wedges. You are going to fix it, you are going to insert it in order to fix the prop in a vertical manner. So props, everything is fixed. Over this, you are going to pour your concrete. Similar type of formwork is required for your beam also. Additionally, you will be having this stringer here. Stringer is nothing but this vertical member provided continuously throughout your beam. Are you all along with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Sole,
ma'am.
we'll see the Thank you, thank you. We'll see the terminologies of the formwork for column. First is the sole plate, a horizontal timber under the foot of a jack or post used to spread the load from the member above. Props is nothing but the vertical member, a strut which is light enough to be manhandled. It is commonly used to describe a strut of a proprietary manufacture which is adjustable in length. This can be adjusted. Head tree. Head tree is nothing but a strutted bearer at the top of the post at right angles to the run of the beam box which it supports. A bearer placed or fixed on top of the head shore is to spread the support through the dead shore. Dead shore is nothing but a support to the hardening concrete designed to be left in place when the soffit form is stuck. Next, what is wedge? We saw wedge. It is a triangular shaped material. A piece of wood or metal tapering to a thin-edged wedge or adjust elevation tightened formwork. Folding wedges, that is called the easy wedges. Nowadays, like you can use everything in steel. It comes in a zigzag manner. You can just fix it accordingly. They are also used to tighten or slacken connections between the formwork members. Striking time or stripping time. What is striking time or stripping time? It is nothing but the time required for the early remove. Like you fix everything done. Everything is done by today period and then remove the formwork. The minimum period required for the concrete to attain its initial strength. We just wait till that period. Then we remove the formwork. Then we keep on curing the concrete. This is the formwork of typical slab. This is over this. This is your slab. This thing is there, no? This I'll first draw a box and represent how a concrete will look like. Do you know how a concrete will be marked in any building? Sorry, I'm sorry for that. I just draw it here. It is going to be triangular. Randomly you place your triangulars and dots. Sorry for the vertical line. You have to put the dots. This represents your concrete structure. So this is going to be your concrete. These are the props for that concrete. You're going to fix this props. This props and also this additional braces. You are going to fix it. Okay. In this picture, this represents the concrete. These are the vertical members are laid. You have the sides, that is the beams. Inner part you have the slabs. The person who is standing on the reinforcements, they are checking for the verticality and they are going to pour the concrete into the slab. Here you can see. These are from here. This floor is done. You can see it is leveled, which means it is uniform. It is done. Now we are moving to the next floor or the roof. Here they are going to pour the concrete. For that, they are providing the additional supports here. Formwork for floor slabs. Floors require a large area of formwork to be provided, usually from beam to beam. From every corner of the beam. If you are sitting in a room on a cluster, frequent distancing of prop. Over that they'll be placing the sheathing, and over that the concreting will be done. So it requires huge quantity of formwork compared to your column or your beam construction. Timber floor formwork consists of timber boards supported on a framework and resting on a series of timber joists. Again, timber and metal props can be used for vertical supports. Metal panels can be used and it can be clamped using nuts and bolts. Adjustable props need to be this can be done for leveling up the purpose. If you have some props of 2.5 meter in steel, you can just screw it up and you can increase the height of it. That is not possible in case of wooden formworks. Formwork for the staircase. And for the staircase, first let me tell you, two main components of staircase are, imagine this is your staircase. This is your thread. This is your riser. Okay. The horizontal portion is your thread. That is where you place your foot. That is going to be your thread. And the vertical member, that is this vertical rising. This is called the riser. These two are the main two components. And here you will be having the landing. The bottom you will be having the base. This is the floor level. This is the floor level. Okay. This is how your staircase will be. Okay. Now formwork for the staircase, we'll move on. For this we have vertical and inclined post. This is the inclined post. Also we do have the vertical post. Just to fix those inclined, we will be having some inclined sheeting. See, this is inclined sheeting. We need to support that inclined sheeting, so we are providing the vertical and the inclined post. On the inclined members, stringers, wooden planks or sheeting, riser planks. This is the riser planks. This vertical members are the riser planks. Once this you fix the supports, over that you lay the inclined members, over that you fix your riser planks, then you provide a sheet over it, and then you place your concreting. See. Supports, inclined supports. Okay. Am I running out of time? Okay. Okay. Striking time of formwork. You have the next class?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I continue for 5
Yes,
minutes?
Yes.
Shall I
we have
continue
next
for
class.
5 minutes? Okay, no problem.
I'm today.
Okay, we'll stop with this.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we'll
Thank you.
continue in the next class.
And share
Thank
the
you,
book
ma'am.
name that you
Yes.
talking about.